We are Chaos Divers, a sonar search and recovery dive team who navigates the waters with the hopes of providing answers to the families and loved ones of those that are missing. With the love and support from all of you, as well as the backing of law enforcement and first responders, we've been able to help families nationwide. For more information on how you can help us on our journey, please check out the description below. The easiest and the best way is to like, subscribe, and share our content. Thank you.
All right, guys. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody joining tonight. I want to make this known that please show respect in the chat as family of Trenton may be watching. So please keep the chat clean, which I don't really have to worry about that, but I'm just throwing it out there. This live stream is obviously live. We won't be doing too much talking to the chat. We want to get this information out for, for the news channels to have accurate information on what has transpired in the past 2 days. Once again, thank you guys so much for helping bring Trenton home. I'm going to let Lindsay talk about what transpired in the past 2 days, and we'll go from there.
So as many of you may know, Trenton's missing persons case has been on our radar since April. Trenton is a 21-year-old young man who went missing on March 16th of this year, so 8 months ago. With that, we had attempted to come here 2 or 3 times previously. Looking back at everything, I don't believe in coincidences, so it was something that kept us from coming. Trenton wasn't ready to come home yet. He was brought home at this time with the people who were involved for a reason. Again, we had attempted to come here a few other times. It didn't work out. Taylor with SAR Sheps. She is somewhat local to the area, but Ohio native. Her and another team, LARA Miami Valley. They began working on Trenton's case, doing ground searching, cadaver dog work, just knocking everything out, in their field of expertise. Taylor did reach out and said, hey, are you guys aware of this case? Can you help? Her and Jacob had talked and, yes, we were aware of it. We actually have it on our case log for next spring. She said, is there any way we can move this up? After going through schedules, everything, Jacob and I decided, let's just go. Let's do this. Let's go. We don't have a lot of time, but we do have some time. Let's give them what we have while we can. With that being said, Jacob and I traveled up here on Sunday. We got here pretty late. Well, about 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern time. So pretty late considering what we knew we had coming for us the next few days. We had we had spoke with Trenton's family prior to coming here. We came here with, I guess I'll say an overwhelming blessing from them saying, yes, whatever you can do to help, please do so. The same from Delaware Police Department. If you guys can help, come on, let's go. So everyone was involved, family, law enforcement, 2 additional teams. We met Monday morning at I think it's called the Red Bank boat ramp, Red Bank Marina boat ramp at Hoover Reservoir. Now, Hoover Reservoir, I believe, is technically in Westerville, but it is owned by Columbus, by the city of Columbus. With that being said, we knew that we could search it. We knew that we had access to the water, but we knew we could not dive it. No body of water owned by Columbus can be dove by anyone other than Columbus Police Department's dive team, which is fine by us. Again, we were grateful that, we were allowed the opportunity to search. We got on the water yesterday. By the time we said hello to Taylor and Josh and, got everybody introduced to each other, got on the water, we searched around that boat ramp, and we were going to search Hoover Reservoir in its entirety, or at least what we could do, knowing that there were sections of the reservoir that were already iced over. We began down the western shoreline, headed north. Approximately 45 minutes after we had put on the water, we went over an object with our sonar. Jacob said, "What do you think that is?" I said, "I think it's a rock, but if you're seeing something different, go over it again." And Jacob's like, "Yeah, I think we really need to." Even though we run the same sonar programs, sometimes one of us will have a better image or a different image. So plus Jacob just has an eye for these things. So he knows not everything that looks like a rock is a rock. We turned around, we went back over it. I believe it was on our second pass coming back. Jacob said, "I think that's a vehicle." We went back over it again and again and again, each time at a different angle, and getting more and more confirmation that, yes, this is a vehicle. Look, there's a wheel. There's a wheel. It's upside down. At that time, we marked it on our sonar GPS so we could come back to it. Again, knowing that we were allowed to dive, we knew that if we were going to be calling Columbus Police Department to come out and dive, we wanted to have as many targets for them as possible. We didn't want to have them come out, turn around, go back, and then turn around and come back out. So we had decided at that time to continue to search on. We did get up to Sunbury Road, the bridge that crosses over. And that's where we ran into ice for the first time. We were unable to yesterday get into it, break it up, or anything like that. So we decided to start to go up the south down the eastern bank. The eastern bank side was much, much more shallow. With Hoover Reservoir being in winter pool, it is down approximately 20 feet.
Oh, yeah, about 18 to 20 feet.
They drop that lake every year about 20 feet. So there were some spots where we were like, okay, our map says we should be in 19 foot of water and we're in 1 foot of water. So again, 18 to 20 feet is kind of where our level was. You can clearly see the water line on the rocks, on the shorelines, and all of that. So we continued to go down, or we decided we were going to go back, mark that vehicle, get a magnet on it, see if it would stick. It did. So with that, we went ahead and started the process of calling Delaware Police Department to say, hey, we do have a vehicle in the water. Here's our imaging. Here's where it's located. They had zero hesitation in calling Columbus Police Department in. Columbus Police Department looked at our imaging, looked at where it was located, said, yep, we're on the way. I think it was probably about an hour or within the hour that Delaware Police Department and the Columbus Police Department dive team was on scene. In that waiting for an hour, we did continue to go ahead and search down as far as we could, and then headed back to the boat ramp. When everybody got back out to where the vehicle was located, their divers were exceptional yesterday, and they were even more exceptional today. Their divers got in the water with zero hesitation. The diver yesterday, he went down on it. Through comms, he was able to confirm that it was, in fact, a BMW. It did, in fact, appear to be dark blue or just, dark in color. He was able to confirm what we were seeing on sonar, that the vehicle was upside down. With that, it was getting a little bit later. There was a little bit of, not discrepancy, but the diver originally thought he was feeling two doors. But then once he realized how deep the car was in the mud, it's very soft bottom. he was like, there's 4 doors. We knew we were looking for a 4-door dark blue BMW 430i. Everyone back at the boat ramp did have a feeling that this was going to be Trenton. What are the chances that we find that same exact car that we're looking for in a lake that's not necessarily known for stolen vehicles, things like that? With that, a plan was formulated to return this morning and begin the removal of the car. We were not able to verify the license plate because the way the vehicle was positioned upside down, the trunk had actually opened and was also buried and wedged down into the mud. I am incredibly appreciative. I think I could speak for Jacob as well. Columbus PD said it doesn't matter, it's coming out. And that was without confirmation of is it our confirmed car and is there anyone inside?
It was a BMW and we were searching for a BMW. So it was coming out regardless, is what they said. And I'm very appreciative.
With that, everyone returned back today. You know, everybody had their boats on the water. Again, not being able to dive, which was definitely okay, especially today because the location where the vehicle was at yesterday, it was cold. Today, it was iced over. Again, they're divers in the water, no issues. They brought more divers today. They were switching divers out constantly and consistently, making sure every single one of their divers was warm. Every one of their divers was safe, was okay. There were, I don't want to say issues with some of the dive gear because of anything ill-equipped or anything like that. It was just that cold that BCDs were freezing up. Jacob's had that happen with his regulator. When you dive in a certain temperature, your equipment can freeze up and create like a free flow or something like that. They did have that happen. They got out, new diver in, remedied the situation. Everything was good. They were incredibly meticulous in how they handled this recovery. They made sure that windows were sealed. They made sure that the bag or the car was lifted evenly by all 4 tires. At the same time, they had bags on each tire. It was a great experience to be a part of and to watch. I did tell the commander, their dive commander afterwards, he runs an incredible team. With that, once the car was lifted, they again checked the structural, to make sure that the car was structurally sound, not because originally we didn't have access to that windshield. Everything was good there. And then we began to take the car because we could not get a crane back to where the car was. We took the car over to Sunbury Bridge, very short distance relative to our other options. With that, the car was then removed. Once the car was lifted by the crane over the bridge, that is when it was confirmed. Yes. I believe the officer said, good on the tag, remains inside. At that point, all of the boats headed back to the boat ramp, went back to shore. The car was then brought to that boat ramp where they did more documentation, processing the scene, removal, all of that. I don't think today could have went any better. I think everyone that was on scene today was top notch, incredibly professional, worked absolutely their hardest. I honestly don't think, yes, it was a long day. Yes, it was a cold day, but every single person was in there together. Every single person knew that this had to be perfection. With that, Trenton is coming home, and he's coming home for Christmas. While his family does not have him here physically, they know where he is. We are incredibly grateful to have been given this opportunity, to have been allowed to come and search, to help out multiple agencies, and obviously, most importantly, this family. With that being said, we would not be here if it wasn't for all of you. What you guys did for us, Trenton is home because of that. So thank you to all of you.
Going along with what Lindsay said about the dive team, I would go to battle with them any day. I would be right next to them through the thickest of things. The commander was a perfectionist, and it was great. He did have a few divers who were newer at it, and he trusted them to go down there and accomplish, perform jobs that were super difficult for the better divers that are in the area that they had to dive, ice. There was a lot of obstacles. There's no viz. Like every single one of those divers from the start to finish was just perfect. With that being said, CPD, thank you so much for all your support and your dive team. The Delaware Police Department, investigators, and the families. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this. I would like to take 10-second moment of silence for Trenton. Please put some hearts in there for Trenton's family, and just know that each and every one of you have done this, and we love you, and we appreciate everything you've done for us. So we're going to take a moment of silence and start now. Thank you once again. I love when I say put hearts in there for the family. That happens. Like there's nobody talking. There's all hearts. To the family again, thank you. We are going to get off of here, and just know in the near future we'll have the story told, and just pat yourselves on the back, guys. You guys did this for the family. So do what?
Oh, I was just, again, wanted to thank everybody involved today. SAR Sheps, Taylor, LARA Miami Valley, Josh. He had other members of his team. I didn't meet them, so I'm unsure of their names. Delaware Police Department for trusting us. Columbus PD for trusting us and their tireless efforts. The Hoover Reservoir Park Rangers were out there busting their butt. Dive gear back and forth, divers back and forth, and Proto for their expertise in the vehicle removal. And, again, to Trenton's family, thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your story and your journey.
We didn't speak much about Proto and their excellence. To see that truck or see that car come over the bridge was flawless. They did an amazing job getting there, getting everything situated, and removing it to the best of their ability. So thanks again, Proto, and everybody involved. With that being said, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Oh, and thank you to Terry.
Terry.
For her.
Terry, thank you so much.
Her incredible support. She's here with us. She actually made the drive yesterday. Spent the day, weathering the weather with us today. The cold. She's always incredible. Comes out with us whenever she's able to. So, huge thanks to Terry and all that she's done for us as well. And our families.
Keep diving. It's not worth it to stop. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you again.
Love you. Bye.
We'll see you guys later. No, I got to take that off.